The premiere of DC's Legends of Tomorrow is steadily marching closer to today, and we caught up with the cast to jump into the future and find out what the time stream holds for their characters in Season 1.
First of all, we got very lucky because we got all the characters we wanted. You know, it's one thing to pick the characters, but then it's another thing to get the actors to say yes. And the way we made the choices were, who are the greatest hits? Which characters have been developed on Flash and Arrow who have resonated the most with fans?
So obviously we've met your character on The Flash, and he plays the leadership role for a bunch of rogues.
All right.
How is that going to kind of transfer over to the Legends? Because is he going to try and take a leadership role there too?
I think it'll transfer badly, is my guess. And that's also my hope. I think that's what kind of makes for interesting viewing as an audience member. I don't want to tune in and see a bunch of people getting along. It is heroes and villains working together to take on this supervillain, but that doesn't mean it's one big happy family. It might be quite the opposite.
Obviously, we're all going to have our own kind of strengths and weaknesses that play into this, and we're all going to kind of rub against each other in weird ways. But with Hawkgirl, she's just at her origin. She doesn't even know if she's a superhero. She's just like, I have this weird power, and I feel like I have these memories that I don't understand. So of all the people, she's kind of the least established as a hero or an anti-hero. She doesn't know what she is.
What does Heatwave bring to the team of Legends?
He brings that kind of unpredictability, that psychotic force, if you will. I mean, I've been pitching or describing him as just a dumber version of the Joker.
Okay, I like that explanation.
Yeah. Exactly. There you go.
What is it about Ray that Rip Hunter sees and says, yes, he needs to be a part of the team?
Because he's a genius, obviously. But I don't know. I mean, I think that Ray has a lot of cool capabilities. Not only does he have a cool suit that does awesome things, but he has a pretty good head on his shoulder and hopefully can help balance out all the other different personalities that are on the team.
So how is that going to work with him having to team up with, they're all really anti-heroes, but like some superheroes and supervillains?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I guess maybe he would be against it at first, but understand ultimately that they're meant to work together, they're supposed to work together, and would be excited and rally about the idea of turning them.
Obviously, we now know that you're going to come back in some way, but how has death changed Sarah Lance?
I mean, we've seen with Thea's character on Arrow that she went a little crazy. And for Sarah, she's been dead a long time. And I would imagine that crazy is amplified, especially considering she was already a little off. But she's still Sarah Lance.
Will we get to see your other half, and could it possibly be a different person playing it?
Well, you will see, yes, the first episode of The Flash Season 2, you will see all of this explained, and it will come to fruition, and you will have a clearer picture of what's to come. So a lot of the questions will be answered. I promise.
I feel like this team has to come together to fight those villains. Tell me about Vandal Savage becoming the big bad for the first season.
Well, Vandal is an immortal, and how you're supposed to go back in the past and deal with a guy who never dies is kind of a tall order. But, when we have assembled a team as formidable good guys and bad guys, we kind of had to pick the most, unstoppable bad guy. We haven't figured out how to vanquish Vandal, so hopefully we will figure that out so they can figure it out. But in the early episodes, the more pressing danger is going to be how we can keep from killing each other, because we're sort of our own worst enemy. And just to see these people traveling through history and would you trust Leonard Snart going back into the 70s? No.
You can get your fill of the Arrowverse by reading the entire run of Arrow Season 2.5 right now on readdcentertainment.com. Make sure you guys click subscribe so you can keep up to date on all of your favorite DC TV shows.